Hello learners, how are you and welcome back to my channel Let's Learn Together. In today's video I'm going to discuss with you the NCERT questions of the chapter The Triumph of Surgery. And as I'm going through these questions one by one, there are not many questions anyway in the book, but as I'm going to the questions one by one, I'll just hope that you keep on taking notes watching this video, and this taking of the notes will help you to write down your answers whenever you're penning them down. I am using the textbook with me. I have this textbook with me, which I'm using to refer to the questions, and one by one, I'll deal with all the questions. So, I'll just give you the interpretation, my own interpretation of the questions. You may pick up some points which I'm discussing with you, or you may also add to the points which you feel are more important or are essential or should be added in the answer. Okay, so let us look at the first question. The first question is this. I'm just reading the question from the book. What kind of a person do you think the narrator, a veterinary surgeon, is? Would you say he's tactful as well as full of common sense? Well, look at the first part of the question. The first part of the question asks us about a brief character sketch of the narrator, who happens to be the veterinary surgeon. So, what kind of a person he is? Well, uh, we find him a very practical person. We find him a person who has knowledge of medicine. Of course, if he's a veterinary surgeon, he definitely has a lot of knowledge of medicine. But at the same time, we find him a person who is very closer to his common sense, and also who has a great knowledge of human nature and human behavior. This is something which makes him different and exceptional. This is something which makes him different from other doctors, because this is generally a tendency of medical practitioners, that the minute they realize that there is a problem in the human body, or there is some disease, or there is some uneasiness in the body, right away they would refer to some kind of medication. But here we find narrator, or Mr. Harriet, as somebody who is who does not actually always see refuse in medication as the solutions of the problem. So once he meet Mrs. Humphrey and Tricky, he absolutely, right at once he is able to understand what the problem is, and the problem has actually been the overindulgent nature of Mrs. Harriet and of Tricky. The Tricky has been a very greedy dog, and of course Mrs. Humphrey has got a big role to play in it, because she has always been very indulgent, as I told you, and extremely loving, and she has this habit of showing her love to the dog Tricky in the form of the food, and the excess food which is being given to the dog, and if the lack of exercises and other things, we find him Tricky having developing the obvious difficulties which not only a dog but anybody can get if you eat just too much and exercise too little. So he is able to understand that this is a problem which does not require medication, but this is a problem which requires the lifestyle changes, and therefore we find him a different kind of a doctor. He does not refuse, take solutions from medicine. Rather, he decides to correct it in a most natural way, so that the solution would be long lasting and the patient will have a better life, and a good life, right? So what kind of a person do you think he is? Well, we find him a very practical person. We find him a person who is very commonsensical. We find him a person who understands life and human nature better, and that is why we find him overall a very intelligent, I would say, and somebody who understands that what is needed and when it is needed. So he understands his methods well, and that is why he is a good doctor, I would say, and more than being a good doctor, he is a good human being. Let us look at the next part of the question. The next part of the question is, would you say he's tactful as well as full of common sense? Well, yes, definitely. He's very tactful and he is very much full of common sense, because of the reasons that I just explained to you. But why is it that he is tactful? Tactful is somebody who knows to how to find out the solution. So he's tactful because he knows that he's been recommending different ways and methods to Mrs. Humphrey, but Mrs. Humphrey is not able to, she is not willful enough, he does not have that kind of willpower to bring all those solutions into practice. So what does she do? What does he do, Mr. Harriet, do? That he decides to take Tricky along with him to his own home and keep him there for approximately a fortnight, which is definitely is an example of his tactfulness. And not just that, He also understand that these kind of problems do not need medicines, rather these kind of problems need lifestyle changes. So yes, he is very tactful, and at the same time we find him a person with lots of common sense and an understanding of human nature. So whatever you say, just keep on giving instances and the events from the text to support your points. For example, if you're saying he's commonsensical, then you have to suggest how he refrained from suggesting any kind of medicine to the dog. And if you're saying he's tactful, then talk about how he knew that Mrs. Humphrey will not be able to take care of Tricky that well, and that is why Tricky needs to be taken back at his own home. Right? If you're saying he's commonsensical, once again you know that he realized that the problems of Tricky needed lifestyle changes and not medications. So whatever the points you're saying, try to substantiate your point by backing them up or supporting them up with examples from the story. That's extremely important, because when you do that, the examiner understands that you have read the text well. And that is something which is really really it generally falls in your favor. The minute you're trying to give, you are able to give then indication to your examiner that you have read the text, then yes, you generally have, or you most of the time you will have the ball in your own court. Right? Let us move to the next question. The next question is, do you think Tricky was happy to go home? What do you think will happen now? So, do you think Tricky is happy to go home? When Tricky was better, in his condition started getting better, do you think he was happy to go home? Yes, of course. He was very happy to go home. And as the car appears of Mrs. Humphrey, he is just too happy to go back to his home. And what do you think will happen now? Well, this is something which is not given in the story. So here you have to use your own manipulations and skills of speculations. So what do you think will happen now? So answer may vary from person to person. I tend to feel that maybe there are complete chances of Tricky falling back into the same condition, because Mrs. Humphrey does not have that kind of willpower. But some of you might also feel that Mrs. Humphrey will improve, and probably Tricky will be able to lead the healthier lifestyle even after going back home. But this is something, as I told you, the matter of speculation, because we do not know what will happen. But depending upon or looking at the character that Mrs. Humphrey has, we have all the reason to believe that probably Mrs. Humphrey is once again going to pour out all her love on Tricky, and Tricky will have lots and lots of sweets and chocolates to eat, and will be definitely treated extremely well by his mistress. So maybe he will fall back into his original condition, maybe. But then it depends upon what is it that you want to write, and whatever you write, once again you have to substantiate your point. You have to reason back your answers. So first answer, yes, he was very happy to go back to him. Next answer, I'm leaving it on to you, because you have to think about it, read the story well, and look at the characters, think about it, and see what is it that you can come up with. Next question is question number 3. Do you think this is a real life episode or mere fiction, or is it a mixture of both? What do you think it is? Once again, we do not have any idea whether Mrs. Humphrey or Mr. Harriet are these real characters. Well, this could be a real story also. This could be, because there is nothing in this story which will make it something which is out of real, or something which is out larger than life. Definitely it could be. It could be. There are extremely possible reasons for us to think that this could very well be a story which is real. And there could be some elements of fiction in it. And these are kind of questions which I don't think would be asked in question paper, because generally in the question paper the questions would be asked which have some substantial answers say of it. These are the questions basically designed to improve the rational faculties of the reader, because it is like you need to think beyond whatever the words of the stories are. You need to think about what will happen next. Now here you have a very, like, you have an open ground to run on. Now you can run in any direction. There are absolutely no boundaries. So some of you might say that this is real life episode, or some of you might just say that this is mere fiction, because to find out the answer, actually one might just have to go back to the life history of James Herriot, who happens to be the author, and we just need to find out if anything of that kind had actually happened in his own life. So that could be one thing. So for that we have to depend upon secondary material. What are secondary materials? Secondary materials are the lifestyle, the life history of the author. So you need to read upon different kind of books to find out more about James Herriot as a writer. uh, or if you're not doing that, then you have to have, some kind of imagination on your part. So these kind of questions need you to imagine in a right direction. So although there are no limits to write any answers, but then they have to be rational answers, as I told you, because you have to like keep yourself within the broader context of the story. That is extremely important, and therefore you may write on anything. So yes, it could be a real life superposition, because as I told you, it is not difficult for us to have people like Mrs. Humphrey and Tricky and Mr. Harriet around us. We definitely find there's so many dog lovers, so many masters who are just too much in love with their pets that they indulge all their love on them. And they provide them all the facilities and luxuries which a human being, sometimes in certain part of the societies, even human beings do not have. So you would see the dogs of the richest people. If you have ever noticed, in big cities, the dogs would be like, they would be very much traveling with their own masters in the car, and they would be going with them wherever they are. But in fact, I've actually seen people carrying their dogs in theaters, film theaters also. So this is the kind of extent to which they actually bond with their dogs. So yes, this could very well be a real life situation. But if we really want to find out the answer, then we would just have to peep into the life of James Herriot. And if you don't want to do that, or if you cannot do that, then in case you have to use your imagination faculties and just think about. I mean, the safest answer could be that yes, there could be some elements of real life or some elements of fiction in it mixed, right? uh, these are the only three questions that your NCERT textbook has. Then there is the few questions on the four questions on next page, which is page number 7, under the topic talk about it. This is generally for the peer discussion kind of a question, but some of it could be written in the notebooks also. Look at the first question. I'm reading it out from the textbook. This episode describes the silly behavior of a rich woman who is foolishly indulgent, perhaps because she is lonely. Do you think such people are merely silly, or can their action cause harm to others? Well, what do you feel? Once again, Mrs. Humphrey's character is important here. You need to understand and think more about Humphrey's character. Now, she's been depicted as somebody who is rich and who is silly. I agree completely with both the points, that she is rich. She is rich, we know, because she has a different wardrobes for Tricky. There are a set of clothes which are for summer, there are a set of clothes which are for winters and rains. Then there is a day bed, and then there is a night bed. Even the bed for the different times of the day are different for the dog. So I mean, even as parents, there are many parents who don't do this much for even for their own kids, but then she's doing it for her pet. So definitely she's very rich, and she's very indulgent, and at the same time she's foolishly silly. Well, yeah, she is silly definitely, because when you spend, I'm not saying she is silly because she loves her dog. There's nothing wrong in loving the animals, or in fact when they are your own pet. Well, this is good to love animals, but I'm calling her silly because she spends much more than what is actually required. I mean, she is it's like the extravagance expenses that she makes on her pet is extremely foolish and silly, because spending money or spending or using your resources just because you have them and not knowing how to use money wisely is also something which which is something which may become problematic for not just that individual, but for people who are around her also. So what happens is that she's spending money on her dog, but then ultimately she's not just wasting the money, she's also wasting the health of her own pet. So yes, of course, these kind of habits can put uh, people around, such rich people, in a position of problem. So if for example they are parents, and when they do not know how to discipline their kids, and when they just fulfill each and every wish of their kids without understanding the necessity and the importance of their of those wishes, then there are chances, there are very high chances of the kids being thrown into a state of indisciplined, and they would definitely be more, they would not just be more indisciplined, they would be very careless and callous, and they would not know how to use their resources wisely. So definitely this is going to be harmful for their kids. Like, similarly, now the question is that such people are merely silly, or they can, well, yes, of course they are silly, but then such actions can actually cause serious damages to the character of the person who are near them. In this case, it is Tricky who is actually facing a lot of problem because of Mrs. Humphrey's foolishness. Now Mrs. Humphrey is so foolish that she keeps on feeding the dog. Now this is actually has started affecting the dog's health adversely. And if Harriet would not, if he would not have intervened in at the right time, if he wouldn't have actually, stopped all this at the right time and started giving right training and the right lifestyle changes in the life of Tricky, then definitely Tricky would really might have to pay a very huge cost of the bad health. So there's nothing worse than a bad health, because as they say, your health is, sometimes more important than the wealth. So yes, these kind of actions are causing extreme harm to the people around, such people, such silly indulgent people. So because the first problem that dogs like Tricky or the kids of overindulgent parents face is the problem of indiscipline. uh, so they become indisciplined, and as I told you, they do not understand how to direct their life, or they do not know what kind of a shape should be given to their lives. And since they get everything so easily, to do not understand the importance of struggle, they don't understand that how to suffer, they do not know what pain is. And uh, nothing great comes without pain and problems and difficulties. So great things come only out of pain, so one has to suffer compulsorily. So I'm not saying that you need to suffer in a way of keeping yourself hungry for many days and days together, no, but then you have to keep yourself challenging. That is how you need to kind of keep yourself motivating. Only then something could be achieved in life. So when writing the answer to this question, you have to write down about how people like Mrs. Humphrey can seriously cause damage to the dogs, to their pets. Or you can also take the example of overindulgent parents, about how they end up ruining the life of their own kids in the name of love and in the name of providing them all the luxuries and facilities. Okay, so right, you can take up example, right? Don't just discuss Mrs. Humphrey, you can pick up the examples of, as I told you, overindulgent and rich and silly parents also. Let us look at the next question. What do you think? Do you think there are also parents like Mrs. Humphrey? Yes, of course. Of course, there are many parents. Yeah, many parents, lots and lots of people who would be rich, who would be just too blessed to have good economic resources along with them, and of course, they tend to spoil their own children. So I've discussed this point earlier, and you can, accordingly write your answer. So, question number 3. What would you have done if you were first a member of the staff in Mrs. Pumphrey's household, a neighbor? What would your life have been like in general? Okay, so once again, you have to think this for yourself. You cannot pick up somebody else's point, but let me discuss it from my own point of view. If I have to write the answer, what would I write? What do you think you would have done if you were a member of the staff in Mrs. Pumphrey's household? If I would have been a member of the staff of Mrs. Uh, Pumphrey's household, which means I could have been a gardener, I could have been a driver, I could have been a cook, whatever I have been. If I would have been, what is it that I would have done? I would have definitely tried to question Mrs. Pumphrey about her overindulgent nature, and would have definitely tried my best to make her understand uh, the consequences of her actions. That definitely I would have done. So as much as I, because if I'm working under her, then how much power do I have over her? But then whatever, I would have tried definitely my best to ensure that Mrs. Pumphrey understands that her actions are actually becoming very problematic, or may cause serious damage to to the life of the dog. Okay, and the next part is that what would you have done if you would have been a neighbor? I would have done the same thing. If I would have been a neighbor, and as a neighbor, as a friend, I would have definitely talked to Mrs. Pumphrey about the same thing. What would your life have been like in general? What would your life have been like in general? Well, it depends upon what you are considering yourself, if you're a neighbor, and what would your life would have been in general. uh, my life as a neighbor would be normal as I am living probably. Why would I live like something else or somebody else? But yes, I would definitely try to help Mrs. Pumphrey and Tricky in this matter. So the second part of the answer is not making much sense. Second part of the question, I mean, is not making much sense. What would your life have been like? Okay, what would your life have been like in general? Then you have to discuss your own life. You have to discuss your life. How is it that you are living your life as what you were, whatever you are? So like, how is it that my life have been has been like as Rajni or as a teacher, right? So then you have to once again write your own answers. I do not know what your life is like. You have to write your own answers. You have to write up if you have really been, but be honest. You have to write if you have really been very disciplined. You have to write about if you have not been disciplined, or if you have just have some habits which you think have caused some harm to your character or personality. You could write anything about your life. Okay, do you think that, how do you feel, or what are you doing during these days of lockdown? Are you becoming overindulgent? Are you just eating too much and practice and you're not exercising at all, or you're trying to have a balance in your day? You're having a schedule for yourself, and you get up at the right time and have breakfast, and exercise and study and play and do all the activities and help your parents in day-to-day domestic chores. Whatever you're doing, please write down that. Okay, then the next fourth question is, or the last question is, what would you have done if you were in narrator's place? Once again, be very sensible and honest, because narrator was a doctor, and he understood the importance of health more than anybody else. Okay, we might be extremely conscious of your health, but a doctor are very conscious of the health, because they know all the science behind the human or physiology or the animal physiology. So they know exactly what is happening inside the body of the human being. That is why their actions are extremely alert and careful. Whatever they eat, whatever they do in their own life, we might, however much ever I might be conscious about my life, about my health, I might still commit some mistakes, because I do not know whether all my actions are correct or not. But a doctor is somebody who is extremely aware of the science of the human anatomy. So therefore he decides to take him to his own home, Tricky, to his own home, and treat him accordingly. But what would you have done? If you would you go to the extent of carrying somebody else's pet to your own home and keeping him there for 2 weeks probably, and then giving him a right treatment? Because this wouldn't have been easy, as Tricky was just too much fond of eating so many things. So definitely it would have been difficult for him to avoid food right in the beginning, and he would have definitely created some problems for the narrator which he would have faced. So are you able to go to that extent to safeguard somebody's health? So be more honest and write down the answer. These are the 7 questions that are there. So I think all the questions could be written in the notebook. Please do all these 7 questions. Whatever the question doubts you still have, please leave your questions in the comment section below, so that I can answer your questions. Apart from that, I will also prepare some other questions, and which I will forward to you, and write down the answers of those questions also. So I hope you have seen this video, I've understood something, and you will be able to frame your own answers out of the points that I've just given you. So just keep reading and stay happy. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day ahead.